Good Thursday evening, December 19th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The East Wenatchee driver accused of firing a handgun at another motorist on Highway 2 west of Leavenworth now faces a possible trial date in March. Two north central Washington cities will receive nearly $700,000 worth of state grants and loans set aside for major water and sewer projects. Wet and mild weather is in our forecast for the next several days. I'll have all the details, plus a look at our Christmas Day forecast coming up. Police and prosecutors say a 6-month investigation by the Columbia River Drug Task Force has netted multiple suspects in a local fentanyl trafficking network. 4 men have been jailed since early December on suspicion of drug felonies, with 2 women arrested this week. The multi-agency task force identifies 30-year-old Kevin Pina Guyona as the ringleader, assisted by fellow suspects including Jesse William Pina and Louis Fernando Garcia. Police say up to a dozen people were involved in a conspiracy to distribute fentanyl and methamphetamines throughout the Wenatchee Valley. Several properties were searched on December 6th, allegedly yielding large amounts of drugs and 10 firearms. More arrests are expected. Prosecutors in both Chelan and Douglas counties expect to file charges this week. The East Wenatchee driver accused of firing a handgun at another motorist on Highway 2 west of Leavenworth now faces a possible trial date in March. 33-year-old Daniel Robert Stevens appeared yesterday in Chelan County Superior Court to be arraigned on 2 counts of second-degree assault, 1 count of drive-by shooting, and 1 of reckless driving. On December 4th, he allegedly fired shots into the air and toward another car occupied by 2 men after passing them westbound near Winton. No one was injured. Judge Robert Jordan ordered Stevens to stand trial March 18th, though that date is subject to change. Stevens remains free on $50,000 bond. A planned vegetation burn and a flawed weather forecast combined this morning to blanket the town of Leavenworth in smoke. The Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery conducted a prescribed burn this week to reduce the risks of wildfire on its property along Icicle Road. An unexpected inversion trapped the smoke near the valley floor, making air quality unhealthy for people with asthma or other sensitivities for much of the day. By mid-morning, hatchery managers realized the smoke was not dissipating and began extinguishing the burn piles. The Washington State Department of Agriculture yesterday announced the eradication of the Northern Giant Hornets in Washington and in the nation. The invasive hornets posed a great threat to native bees with the ability to kill an entire honeybee hive within hours. They are also dangerous for human health because of the severity of their sting. In 2019, the state, along with other government agencies, began the process of eradicating the hornets, largely in Whatcom County. Several hornet nests were found and destroyed in 2020 through 2021. Agricultural officials say this year no more Northern Giant Hornet activity has been detected.
The fact of the matter is, if the entire community hadn't stood up and taken action, there is a real good chance that we would just all be living with Northern Giant Hornet, even for years to come. It is a very difficult task to eradicate an insect once it has become well established, and these were established enough that they were actually attacking resources already. And so even if we had some luck, some help from Mother Nature, we had a lot of help from the community, and that's really what everyone working together and honestly the media helping everybody pay so much attention to this really helped kind of sign an eviction notice for the Hornet here in Whatcom County and in Washington.
When we come back, the man convicted 8 years ago of shooting and killing a Moses Lake man outside a convenience store must be sentenced for the crime for a third time. And Governor-elect Bob Ferguson is shaping up his cabinet, and he's asked the man who's led the Washington State Patrol for almost 20 years to stay on the job a while longer. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Are you a good listener? Do you stay curious when exploring conflicts? Can you manage emotions in stressful situations? Do you want to help people create solutions that work for each person's needs, lives, and culture? We need people like you to learn to be volunteer mediators, and we're here to help. Contact your local dispute resolution center to discuss your interests and learn about training opportunities.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Two north central Washington cities will receive nearly $700,000 worth of state grants and loans set aside for major water and sewer projects. The Washington Department of Commerce awarded a combined $521,000 to Soap Lake this week, designed to help fund designs for its wastewater lift station and sewer mains. The project looks to prevent sewer backups and prevent groundwater contamination from city sewage. Meanwhile, in Brewster, the town will receive $164,000 toward a survey of its water system so it can plan future improvements. The funding is equally divided between grant and loan dollars. The man convicted 8 years ago of shooting and killing a Moses Lake man outside a convenience store must be sentenced for the crime for a third time. Anthony Rene Vasquez shot Juan Vasquez at point-blank range in 2013 and was sentenced to life without parole. His sentence was downgraded in 2018 to 55 years in prison after an appeals court dismissed his convictions for drive-by shooting, finding that Vasquez did not fire his weapon from a vehicle. In a 6-3 ruling, the Washington Supreme Court now says the Grant County Court must hear any new evidence when it resentences Vasquez again, this time to strike a drug conviction vacated by the Blake ruling. No new sentencing date has yet been set. Governor-elect Bob Ferguson is shaping up his cabinet, and he's asked the man who's led the Washington State Patrol for almost 20 years to stay on the job a while longer. Chief John Batist was first appointed in 2005 by Governor Chris Gregoire and retained his post through all three terms of Jay Inslee's administration. Ferguson announced today he'll keep Batist at the head of the state police force. Also staying in place are the heads of the Washington Department of Labor and Industries and the director of the Department of Historic Preservation. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, and for the last pause for pets before the holiday, we're featuring a silky chicken who came in off the streets. He's up for adoption at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Cloudy weather with rain is expected for the next several days. I'll tell you what we can expect heading into Christmas week coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Stay warm this holiday season with the latest high-quality fashions from Vuori, Patagonia, and North Face. Lake Chelan Sports has a huge selection with boots and gloves to match. Find it in downtown Chelan.
Walking on Wooden is Chelan's newest casual boutique. Update your wardrobe with the latest casual fashions from Johnson & Murphy, Free People, and UGG. Look for WOW on Wooden Avenue in downtown Chelan.
In tonight's features story, ever notice how the 12 days of Christmas include 6 different kinds of birds? Well, for the last pause for pets before the holiday, we're featuring a silky chicken who came in off the streets. Thomas the rooster is ready for adoption at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and the caring staffers there are absolutely crowing about him.
Pause for Pets is presented to you by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Merry Maids, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center.
We don't get chickens very often. I'm Jessica Robertson. I am here with the Humane Society, and this is Thomas. He is our black silky rooster. He's non-bearded, and he is the sweetest little guy. He's been with us for about a month or 2 now, but I think he's grown on all of us a little bit. Thomas is a year old. He came to us as a stray. He's found in Wenatchee area.
Thomas was a chicken just on the streets?
Yeah, kind of crazy. I've never seen a roaming chicken. I think he just is a boy. He acts kind of like a rooster. We had a few ducks, and he definitely wanted to go over to them, so he would probably like a group of girls, I'm sure. Honestly, silkies, they can be the best pets, just lovable. They're not very flighty, and they like to stick to their people. I had a bunch of silkies growing up, and they would just follow me around, and they just wanted to be picked up, and they're just lovable. I think just like a family household, maybe no dogs, unless your dog likes chickens, that's probably fine. Just have a nice space for them. Kind of be aware of your neighbors because he does like to crow.
Is he a morning guy then?
He's an all-day kind of guy. We'll be walking around and he'll hear us talking. He'll start crowing at us. He's really funny.
Do chickens need a flock?
I think they need some friends, yes. They do best with their people.
So if somebody has an existing flock, Thomas might fit in there somehow?
I think so, for sure. He doesn't really need a whole lot, just some love and his little chicken scratch and crumbles, and I think he'd do well with just some love.
Are roosters like this very popular with, like, say, young people or families with kids?
Honestly, I'd say so, yeah. Just their look, their beautiful silky feathers. The plumage is just so soft and fluffy. He's so beautiful, too. You can go onto our website, and there's a section where it says livestock, and Thomas is right under the livestock area on our webpage. And you can always make appointments also on our webpage to see Thomas.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Pause for Pets is presented to you by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Merry Maids, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center.
He's a really sweet guy. We all love Thomas.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Thursday was a good one. Lots of clouds out there once again today, but some mild temperatures to go along with that. Looking out our tower cam towards the city of Ephrata. There in our weather window this afternoon, you can see a mix of clouds and a little bit of sun over in Grant County. Just a bit ago, we did see some blue sky and a little bit of that still, but clouds will be in our forecast. As we look ahead through Friday, we can expect partly sunny skies. I think tomorrow afternoon temperatures will be very mild again, around 40. And then this Saturday to Tuesday period, that's when we'll see some mountain snow and quite a bit of lowland rain showers. A little breezy for Monday as well. But notice the temperatures again. We won't see anything like upper 40s, but I think we will be right around that 40-degree mark right through the weekend into Christmas Eve. And then for your Christmas Day, a chance for a mix of rain and snow, mainly mountain snow on Christmas Day, but it's going to be mild once again with high temperatures even approaching the mid-40s with even some mid-50s around parts of the Columbia Basin. And we'll have more on that coming up in a little bit. But today's high temperature well above normal once again. 40 degrees unofficially. 32 is where we should be this time of year. Our record high, 49, and that was set in 2004. We were at 31 this morning. Our record low is, or normal low, 24. Our record low, 4 below, and that was set in 1984. The Weather Service updated our precipitation. Another 0.09 of an inch was added, and now we are at over 7 inches of precip for the year at 7.05 and under 1/4 of an inch below where we should be for this time of year. 14 inches of snow so far this season. We could see a little bit more right before Christmas. We'll talk about that as well in a second. Sunrise 7:45 and the sun set this afternoon at 4:12. All right, your Friday temperatures, and they don't look too bad. Maybe a touch cooler than today. 42 for Moses Lake and Ephrata. 41 your high temperature in Quincy tomorrow. And then a lot of 37s from Ellensburg into Wenatchee, all along the Highway 97 corridor up into Omak, 37 tomorrow. And then mainly mid-30s for Leavenworth, Cashmere, and for Lake Wenatchee for Friday high temperatures. Tonight we can expect, well, let's go here first. This is our weather picture. Here we are, and look at all of the storm systems. 4, 5, 6 systems out in the Pacific. They are all headed our direction, so we have a wet weather pattern ahead right into Christmas Day, and we'll get into that in a second too. But tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies. There's the first storm system set to move in. We'll be mild tonight with temperatures in the low 30s. Keep in mind, mild for lows in the low 30s. Yeah, that should be our highs for this time of year. On Friday, cloudy skies, a 60% chance of showers, and boy, they will be light on Friday. This is just a little band moving through our area. That may be even downgraded to about 30%. Highs on Friday in the upper 30s. But as we get into Saturday and our first day of winter, cloudy skies. You can see the tail of a cold front and widespread shower activity on Saturday with high temperatures right around 40 degrees. So it'll be all rain mainly for us in the Wenatchee Valley. On Sunday, cloudy. This is probably our best chance for rain, an 80% chance. And I think it could be even a rain-snow mix with high temperatures again on Sunday, right around that 40-degree mark. And then for Monday, Christmas week, cloudy skies, maybe a morning shower on Monday, giving way to some showers in the western part of Washington Monday with high temperatures warming up just a little bit into the low 40s for Monday. And then as we get you into Christmas Eve on Tuesday, morning rain showers, and they will dissipate rather quickly as well. We are still seeing a pretty strong southwesterly flow, mostly cloudy in the afternoon with high temperatures on Christmas Eve into the upper 30s. And then for your Christmas Day, it's going to be a wet one. Cloudy skies, a big area of low pressure right off the British Columbia coast, and that'll bring us a mix of clouds and rain and snow in the morning. I think all rain showers in the afternoon and especially into the evening hours with high temperatures on Wednesday in the upper 30s. All right, your 7-day forecast, 32 overnight tonight, 38 tomorrow. I'm not sure that's even It's going to be less than that. Let's put it that way as we get into Friday. 38 degrees, a 70% chance of rain on Saturday, 80% on Sunday. High temperatures, upper 30s to around 40 degrees. It looks like some rain showers Monday, too, with an 80% chance of the wet stuff, 41 our high. Morning rain on Christmas Eve, Tuesday, mostly cloudy in the afternoon and 38. And then just downright wet as we get into Christmas Day on Wednesday with a high temperature of 38 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Happy Thursday. The Washington State University fan base has been hit hard this week. First, star quarterback John Mateer and 20 of his teammates leave for the transfer portal. Then, head coach Jake Dickert leaves to take a job at Wake Forest. Director of Athletics Ann McCoy says, while it's disappointing, it's also part of the new landscape universities like WSU are having to negotiate.
A lot of what we're experiencing right now feels a lot like kind of the new world of college athletics and football. And I think it's easy to get sucked into all of the changes and everything that we've had happen in the last, we'll just say week or two, on top of, the last year or two. But I have just been reminded time and time again in meeting with our current players and coaches that are still here and hearing from so many of our former players and former coaches. It just reminds me what an amazing place Washington State University is. And while change sometimes can be frustrating or difficult or create uncertainty, I'm a strong believer that change brings about the opportunity for new beginnings.
The Cougars canceled practice yesterday in the wake of the news concerning Dickert's departure. Assistant coach Pete Kaligas has been tasked with leading the team into next week's Holiday Bowl. He says he and the staff will try to make it the best week possible.
My message to them was, I know who we are. We're going to play this game. And I'm going to give you everything that I have in the next 9 days. That when you look back in 10 years, you'll go, wow, that was a very special time and I didn't realize it, but how much I learned from the staff, from the week, because you care about these guys so much. And I'm sorry, I'm transparent when it comes to emotion. I know I guess one thing I always got to work on, but I just love them so much. And I want them to have everything. I want them to have everything in the next 8 days.
Washington State faces Syracuse in the DirecTV Holiday Bowl next Friday at 5 o'clock. That'll be on Fox TV. Well, the 300th meeting between Washington and Washington State men's basketball programs went the way of the Huskies last night. The University of Washington outpaced its cross-state rival 89-73 behind 21 points from DJ Davis. Also, number 13 Gonzaga got off to a slow start in the kennel last night, but rebounded to beat Nichols 102-72. Braden Huff led the way with 25 points, while Graham Ike had 20. The Husky women also victorious last night. They downed North Dakota State 65-51 as Savas Sellers had 18 points. Two games on tap tonight at 6 o'clock, both available on ESPN Plus as Washington State visits San Diego while Gonzaga plays at San Francisco. Well, the Seattle Kraken begin a 4-game road trip around the holiday break next week. The Blackhawks are the host team tonight as the Kraken will drop the puck in the United Center. That's underway on Kong TV. We continue our glimpse inside the Wenatchee Bighorns this week with the return of a familiar face. Chris Cromartie returns as the Bighorns point guard and has added Director of Basketball Operations to his title. Cromartie returns despite the unrest that occurred at the end of last season with the head coach and a few players walking out right before the playoffs. Cromartie says returning was a no-brainer for him because of ownership.
Once again, I can't say it enough. Sean Cooprider is an excellent guy, excellent owner, maybe even sometimes too nice. That's why I get to step in and say no sometimes. But yeah, we had a conversation at the end of the season or before it happened, and we pretty much connected then. And I saw a man who was actually here for his team. Regardless of what he was going through, people don't see the other side of it. We don't know, all sides of the story. And from my understanding, he was still willing to do anything that he needed for us as the team, as a player, as an individual. So that's the part that made me stick around and want to come back.
Cromartie says he and head coach Matthew Riley are assembling a team that will light up the court, on the court, as well as in the community.
A high-intensity game, man. Just a lot of talent, a lot of entertainment, great personalities that's going to show on and off the court, and just an all-out show. A great experience, pretty much. The professional side of basketball means a lot. The fans mean a lot. The community means a lot. And a lot of times, basketball, we get away from that. We get away from what we're doing for the team, for people that are not just like ourselves or not fortunate or whatever the case is, showing that people have a reason, can have a why, and stuff like that. People can live their dreams out, basically. So the bigger picture is basically a successful season, of course. And success for us looks like winning the championship. Success for us looks like bringing something back to the Wenatchee community that they can look forward to see and come play and come and watch us every weekend, weekday, whenever we have games, just to give back pretty much the biggest thing.
Cromartie says one of the big selling points for potential recruits to play for the Bighorns has everything to do with owner Sean Cooprider.
I communicate with all the players and tell them that they're in a great experience. So me being the player that I am and the professional that I am, I've been through situations where, you get into the wrong crowd or the wrong people or the wrong owners. And Sean Cooprider isn't that. Any of the organization isn't that. The biggest thing is about how much they care.
Cromartie, Coach Riley, and owner Sean Cooprider are solidifying the schedule for next season in the TBL and are busily selling tickets and sponsorships in the community. The Bighorns expect to play 12 games at home at W.B. Smith Gymnasium on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College between March and June. Well, let's get a look at the Prep girls basketball scoreboard from last night. Omak edged Chelan 59-57. Lake Roosevelt topped Odessa 42-30. Moses Lake Christian won a close one over Bridgeport 53-51. Girls scheduled today at Bridgeport had Bridgeport facing Odessa earlier today at Moses Lake Christian. Eastmont's hosting Wenatchee. Manson visits Liberty Bell while Moses Lake Christian hosts Lake Roosevelt and Soap Lake visits Republic. Omak is on the road at Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. On the boys' floor last night, Chelan beat Omak 54-46. Odessa took down Garden City Academy 63-42. Moses Lake Christian beat Bridgeport 62-50. Garden City Academy was to face Bridgeport earlier today at Moses Lake Christian. Omak traveling to Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Eastmont hosts Wenatchee tonight at 7, while Thorpe plays at Ephrata. Liberty Bell hosts Manson at 7:30, while Soap Lake's at Republic, and Odessa plays at Moses Lake Christian. Of course, the first of 3 meetings between Eastmont and Wenatchee will be streamed on NCWLIFE Channel's Facebook page tonight. Wildcats and Panthers girls start at 5:30. The boys follow at 7 o'clock. Grant Olson will be courtside with your play-by-play. The boys game will air on TV tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The girls game will air Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock on TV. The prep wrestling schedule tonight includes Eastmont at Sunnyside. Moses Lake is hosting West Valley, and Grandview wrestles at Ephrata. That's Look at Sports News. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Thursday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.